Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you part 15 of What If Naruto Broke His Human Limiter. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, I post a brand new series over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto Lost Everything and traveled to the DC universe. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. I also post a brand new series over Anime Prince of What If Naruto had the Shinigami Essence sealed inside of him, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, for new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels that I post What If on every single day. Yes guys, so for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead, check that link down in the description and enjoy them guys. So without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into the brand new episode begin? Now guys. So the last time we left off, it started out as 3 years pass. Yes, 3 years has passed since the whole debacle with Naruto and Urashika and the Hidden Stone, and since then they found out about the threat that probably is going to plague their world. As we found Kagura as she was with Kakashi. Kakashi and Kagura had something in common. The both of them were in a mental state of brokenness. Kakashi losing almost everything when he was younger. His father, his team, his sensei, everything. As for Kagura, she lost her will to live as she lost everything. That somehow draw the both of them close together. It started a couple months ago, and since then the both of them had been sleeping together. It hasn't been anything too special or anything. However, the couple of months though, the both of them start to develop feelings for one another, but the problem was, the both of them were too stuck in their ways to say anything about it. And that was the biggest problem here. Neither of them want to admit anything about it. As they haven't even told Naruto yet. And they didn't even want to go on that yet. So that was one of the main problem here. How would they even bring the subject up at all? Seeing that they were acting this way. When it comes to their relationship, well, they didn't define it as that because they were not really together. As for Naruto, he was currently on a mission, as a train slammed right into the blonde. The train was destroyed on impact as Naruto stood there. He was able to bring the hope and joy to the land of spring once again. Well, that was the name now, since they had found the generator and thawed the place out. Koyuki had put her trust and hopes in him, and he did not fail her, as Naruto had saved Sandio and the others, defeating Dodo in the process. With that, both him and Kurosaki was making their way, yes. Over the past 3 years, things between them and the stone has gotten better. Most people in Konoha also saw Naruto differently now. Most of them acting differently towards him after all. He was the boy that protected the village and also brought them a new ally from a nation that they thought they would never had the terms to stand on happy ground with. While everything was not perfect, as some shinobis could not forget the past, most had moved on and just want to live a normal life and having peace was the fastest way to get that. That is why Naruto and Kurosaki relationship has been in the open for the longest time now. As the both of them were making their way back, when they start to speak, the both of them had been together for a while now, and the both of them were now grown as she wanted to take another step in their relationship. Usually the guy was the one offering to make another step forward, but Naruto was just too innocent in that regard, as Naruto was a bit teasing though, making her blush. However, they were attacked, as 2 people were watching them. A strange monster came out of nowhere and attacked them, as Naruto ended up pulverizing the thing into dust, leaving only its foot alone. Confused by the sudden attack, Naruto looked around. The two people quickly left the area, as it showed that it was an older Sasuke Uchiha. Well, it resembles Sasuke but just Orochimaru in his body, and Kabuto as well. Orochimaru had put the young Uchiha's body through a lot. Yes, his new body had been grown and developed in powerful ways. However, Orochimaru had saw with his own eyes as Naruto had ripped him to pieces with just punches, so he knew for certain that going up against that blonde would not be something wise. Right now, he needed more power, he needed more strength. Naruto had gained a reputation for himself, as he's known as the unstoppable ninja. Through the Elemental Nation, they said that there's nothing in this entire world that can stop him. Many people believe that those claims are false. However, it has generated a lot of popularity and a lot of people start to talk more about him. Yes, his name was literally all over the place. There wasn't a single person that hasn't heard about Naruto the Unstoppable Ninja. Yes, his name was that popular already, taking the likes of Hoshirama Senju and Minato Namikaze. Not to mention, his father was Minato, so that made things even worse. Yes, there was a lot more growth there. People were all over the place talking about him and everything. On the other hand, Orochimaru was getting information from none other than Danzo at the village. Danzo could not make a single move with Naruto being around, and with Tsunade having him as her basic bodyguard, there was nothing that he could do. The kid had even moved towards meetings with Tsunade as her literal guard there, and Danzo could not make a move until he was out of the picture. While he was a great asset, he was a problem to Danzo. Orochimaru was trying to create creatures with enough strength and power to take Naruto down. This was just Subject 1 who has failed, as he was working on something else. It didn't take long for Naruto to return back to the village. Arriving there, he spoke to Kakashi about taking the next step in his relationship with Kurosaki, as Naruto was new to this, as he also spoke to Kagura as well. He decided just not to be nervous. That is what he told himself, despite he was nervous as a wreck on the inside. However, Gaara got kidnapped, so they had to make their way, moving toward the sun. Orochimaru received another bits of information from his counterpart within the leaf that, well, the both of them basically wanted the same thing right now, as he decided to run testing number 2. While that was going on, Momoshiki and Kinshiki was now on the hunt as well, as two of their Otsutsuki have gone missing since they were sent out to retrieve Kagura, and yet she has not returned, neither has the other two that were sent out, which told the king that there was a problem that his men were facing out there. The king was a very powerful man, a man that could shake worlds with just his power alone. He did not fear anything out there, as he wanted them to find this threat, at least locate it, so he could annihilate it from the face of the world. So yeah guys, basically let's left off. You guys can switch across the play check for yourself, and what do you say? We jump right into this brand new episode. Begin now guys. Naruto watched in amazement at how much Sakura has grown. Despite being in the village for the past 3 years, and being around, even being on missions with her, Naruto hadn't really taken time to notice how much she has grown. As he watched her work on Kankuro, her hair tied up as she removed the poison from him. Naruto and Sakura were pretty much best friends. They had been through a lot together. His recommendation helped her to be where she is right now, as he had spoken to Tsunade for her, as Sakura had taken on to everything that Tsunade taught her, and became the powerful Kunoichi that she is today. Yes, she's a force to be reckoned with. Naruto still hasn't given up on his dream to find Sasuke out there, as he didn't know why, but he still believed that Sasuke was alive. It didn't matter what the odds were, he still believed that Sasuke was truly alive, not to mention his encounter with Itachi. Sasuke was out there somewhere, and he knew it. But since his encounter with Itachi though, it made Naruto wonder if Itachi was really the heartless monster that people said that he was. Granted, he wasn't able to capture him because he sent a clone to do his dirty work and speak to Naruto. It caused Tsunade to start to look into things, believing if, well, Itachi really massacred the clan because he wanted to. Or maybe there was another reason. Danzo had no idea about this movement that she was making, unaware how close his head was to the chopping block. Sakura walked over towards him. How's he doing? Temari asked as she was worried for her brother. Gaara was taken and Kankuro was in critical state. He should be fine, said Sakura. Temari released a breath that she did not know she was holding. But he needs to rest for now. But I have extracted all the poisons from his body, so his life is no longer in danger. Wow, Sakura, said Naruto. Sakura turned her head towards Naruto. You're like, really awesome, said Naruto. She scratched her cheek, as that brought a little embarrassing blush in her face from the praise that she was getting from Naruto. Before she could say anything though, a nurse came in. Kankuro-san is demanding to see you. What? Said Sakura. As he shouldn't even be moving right now or even talking. They made their way back to the room. Kankuro, you need to rest, said Temari. You could see that Kankuro was still in pain despite the poison being extracted out of him. It's been in him for too long, so his body was still trying to recuperate as fast as it could. My puppet, he said. Kakashi narrowed his gaze. What about your puppet, he said. Akatsuki. Fine, them. He passed out. Does anyone have any idea what he means? Said Temari, looking towards the medics that were there, thinking that they might know something since they were here with him from the beginning. As they looked at one another and shook their heads. Is puppets in the battle against the Akatsuki? Did you guys retrieve them? Kakashi asked. They nodded. Could you bring them here? It took a few minutes as they came in with the puppets part. As Naruto looked over, said puppets. How is this gonna help us? Usually Naruto would just run towards a location, but in this case he had no idea where the Akatsuki was. Naruto was immensely fast. After all, he was able to run from Konoha to the stone rather quickly, but yet, in this case, he did not know where they had taken Gaara. West, east, south, he had no idea. That is why they were here in the first place, other than healing Kankuro, trying to find some sort of clue. As Naruto noticed the puppet arm that was broken was still gripped tightly, he reached out and applied a bit of pressure as it cracked, opening up a piece of cloth on the table. Hey, what's this? As he reached out to touch it. Wait, said Kakashi. I think this might be how we find the Kazekage. How? What is it? Said Temari. I think your brother was able to take a piece of the Akatsuki clothing. Really? Said Temari in shock. Kankuro seemed to pull out for them in the end. So now we need to track it. But how are we gonna do that, she said. He went through hand signs, summoning jutsu. Poof. Several dogs appeared in the room. Pakon jumped off the largest dog's head. Kakashi, what's up, he said. Must be something big as he looked around towards his all other dog compatriots. I need you guys to search for this scent. We're time crunching here right now, so I need you guys to move fast. As he held it out, the dogs started to sniff. As they started to sniff around. We'll be right on it, said Pakon as they all flashed away in a blur. Damn it, said Naruto. There's gotta be something I can do. Just standing here wasting time is not gonna help us find Gaara faster. I'm sorry, Naruto, but in this situation I'm afraid there's not much that you can do, said Kakashi. We'll just have to wait until they return. As Naruto went and sat down outside in a chair, it didn't take too long as Temari came out and sat down beside him. It's gonna be okay, you know, said Naruto. She turned her head towards him. You could see there was worry on her face. I'm gonna rescue Gaara. This is not gonna be like last time, said Naruto. He was talking about Sasuke as he failed to save him. The moment those dogs are back with the location, I'll be the first one out there, and I'll pulverize anyone in my path and bring Gaara back to you. Thanks, Naruto, she said. Temari did not question if he could do it or not. S-class ninjas are not. The San and Konoha had taken part in several joint missions, and Temari had been on a mission with Naruto a couple of times. And all the statement, all the words, all the reason why you should fear him was true. He was a walking tank, an unstoppable force of nature that defies all logic that she could see. All they had to do now was wait. And wait. And wait. Naruto seriously started to lose his mind. Until Pakon finally arrived. And they indeed found the location. As Naruto reached down and picked up Pakon. Hey, what are you doing? Pakon said. You're coming with me, little puppy, said Naruto. You're gonna show me where this place is. Kakashi, I'll be going off ahead, said Naruto. You guys use one of the other dogs to catch up, okay? Kakashi nodded, seeing no reason to tell Naruto not to go. As Sakura gave him a nod as well, as Naruto turned towards Temari. Go, she said. As Naruto took off, Pakon was shocked as it seems like time itself was fluctuating out of control. One moment they were in the sand, the next moment they were at the border. So, where to? It took a moment for Pakon to regain his bearings as he looked around trying to gain control over himself once again. They said that you were fast, but this is just insane. As Naruto held the puppy in his hand. Just go straight in that direction. As Naruto nodded before he took off once again. As Pakon saw everything moving by in a blur. Meanwhile, that was going on. We have a problem, Zetsu said as he rose up out of the ground. The nine-tailed Jinchuriki is here, and he's coming fast. Damn it. Kisame. Itachi. Pain called out. Moments later, Naruto was cutting through the field, making his way until he noticed two people ahead. Slowing himself down a bit, Naruto noticed their features. It's the Akatsuki, Pakon said. Seems like they're here to stop you. Or just slow me down, said Naruto. However, I don't have time to waste. I'm here to save Gaara. Naruto increases speed. He's not stopping, Kisame said, as he gripped Samehata. As Naruto quickly placed Pakon in his shirt and covered him, he held his hand out. Kisame shot forward as he swings Samehata to try to at least stop Naruto, Itachi staying back in the process. There was a lot going through the older Uchiha's mind. However, Kisame tried to stop an unstoppable force, which was one of the biggest mistakes he could make. Naruto increased his speed with such force that, when he came upon Itachi and Kisame, time itself seemed to slow down. However, Naruto was moving as fast as Samehata. Its body was ripped and torn, as Naruto's fist literally went through it, through Kisame as well as he kept on moving. It was like blood and guts spilled everywhere, as Naruto slipped through them, both Samehata and Kisame. However, he stopped right in front of Itachi. Blood splattered all over Itachi as it was thrown back towards him, because of the force that Naruto went with as he raised his hand. Before Itachi could even move, Naruto chopped him in the head, as he collapsed down to the ground. You're coming with me, said Naruto. However, to his confusion, his face changed into someone else. Pakon poked his head out of Naruto's shirt. What's going on, he said. What did you... That is when he noticed all the blood and gore around. What did you do, he said, confused by what is going on. And what just happened a moment ago? It was just a couple of seconds. Seems they're indeed trying to stall me, said Naruto. However, it won't work. So just keep on going straight. Yeah, said Pakon, as Naruto took off once again, making sure to keep Pakon in a comfortable hold so he would not end up, well, getting hurt because of his speed increasing every now and then. As Naruto kept on moving, back in the cave. Why are you two back so soon? Unfortunately, we were unable to stop him, Itachi said. That little shit, he just ran right through me. Ran right through you, said Deidara. Yes, he just ran right through me. This is not good, the leader said. We still need more time to seal the one-tails. All the both-tail beasts is still not yet absorbed. I'm afraid that we're out of time, said Zetsu. Damn it. Pain cursed to himself. You two, he said, looking towards the only two people that were physically there. Do not try and fight him, you two are to leave immediately. Do you understand me? Deidara wanted to retort and say that he was about to show Naruto true art, but his leader was dead serious. Sasori simply nodded, as Deidara nodded his head as well. On the outside, Naruto placed Pakon down. Go on ahead now, said Naruto. Catch up with the others and told them I made it. As Naruto raised his fists, ignoring the paper seal on the cave, he jumped upwards before he brought his hand down. Naruto's fist made contact with it as a strange barrier erupted. The barrier tried to stop his fist from going further, however, Naruto simply pushed and broke through it before shattering a large section of the wall. The moment he did, a bird flew right into his face. A white bird blasted him away, knocking him back through the hole. As then Naruto saw something emerge, a gigantic bird flying away. On said bird was the unconscious Gaara, as it was being held by the bird talents, while Sasori and Deidara were flying on top of the bird, getting away with immense speed. Naruto jumped on top of the cave once again as he looked down, seeing that there was nothing inside. Naruto bent his knees before he lowered himself. The air around him seemed to be rippling as the cave started to tremble as Naruto blasted off blowing the cave apart in the process. Meanwhile, in the forest, watching this entire scene was none other than Orochimaru himself. Seems that they're on the run, Orochimaru said. What should we do, my lord? There's no telling where they will end up, said Kabuto to his lord. Don't worry. Test 2 will commence perfectly. There is no way that they will be able to get away from him when he's after one of his so-called friends, Orochimaru said. And once he returned to this place to return to the sand, we'll be ready. Orochimaru said, going through hand sign, bringing his hand down as he performed a summoning, but this was not a snake summoning. Poof! Something appeared within the smoke. It had glowing red eyes. Meanwhile, on top of the bird, seems we got a race, Sasori, my man. Just be quiet. We're heading towards the next location. I would like some peace and quiet until we reach there. What's got you all grumpy? Is it because we're unable to finish the sealing process? Another long waste of my time. You know I don't like my time to be wasted. Come on, Sasori. It's not our fault. It's that damn Jinchuriki's fault. He's becoming a real problem. He needs to die very soon, otherwise the Akatsuki plan will be in shambles. For once, I agree with you without hesitation. He needs to die. Nothing more, nothing less. But how do we kill something that people are claiming that is unstoppable? Said Deidara. I'm surprised. You're doubting your arts usually. It's art this, art that. What? You've mistaken me, Sasori. I'm not doubting my art. The problem lies in the Jinchuriki. I mean, our whole goal is to capture him, right? So if I were to blow him to bits of my arts, there will be nothing remaining after all. I would cook up something rather good for him. Well, at least for once you're thinking with your brain, and not being a dumbass. You know, Sasori, there's no reason to be mean, said Deidara. And there's no reason to be a dumbass, Sasori said. Hey! The both of them heard. What the hell was that? They looked around but they could see nothing. It must be just a flicker of the wind. There's no way anything can be up this high. Hey! They turned as they saw something. What the hell, said Deidara, as Naruto was rocketing towards them. Give me back Gaara, he yelled. What? Deidara was stunned. Snap out of it, he's coming. Deidara quickly threw on some clay while his hand did, before he held his hand out as two birds flew towards Naruto. The first one started to glow as Deidara raised his hand. Guts! A huge explosion went off in the sky. The second one rushed forward as Deidara ignited as well, causing the place to be swallowed by black smoke. I have no idea what the hell just happened. Was that really him? Deidara said, unable to believe his own eyes. There must be some sort of mistake, right? Seems we have a problem. What? There is no way that he can... Look. Looking forward, they saw Naruto flapping his hands like a bird as he was flying in mid-air. Holy shit. We do have a problem. Sasori watched as the air on Naruto's feet seemed to ripple. Is he distorting air itself? That is possible, he thought to himself. Naruto was able to generate enough pressure from just bending his knees in mid-air that he used to boost himself towards them. Sasori jumped off Deidara's bird as Deidara leaped off as well. Naruto crashed right into it as the bird released Gaara, causing Deidara to reach out and grab onto the Jinchuriki and perform another cuts. The gigantic bird in mid-air went up in a gigantic blast, blowing the two Akatsuki members out of mid-air. This time Deidara created the owl and landed on top of it. The moment he did, he went and caught Sasori, who landed on the back as well, as he held onto the Jinchuriki in his hand. What the hell is that thing? He definitely can't be human. There is no way that he was able to... I said, give me back Gaara. Deidara paused in his sentence as he turned, as Naruto stood on top of the owl. Before Deidara could even think, Naruto ripped Gaara out of his hand and held on to him. Naruto then raised his leg before he stomped in the back of the clay bird. The force that he applied to it caused them to be plummeting towards the earth. Immediately, Sasori jumped off as he hooked onto a tree with a kind of gravel that came out of his back. Whipping around the tree, he landed safely in his hunch form. As for Deidara, he crash landed into a pile of trees. As Naruto landed on the ground, holding on to Gaara, Naruto checked his pulse. It was weak, but he was alive. Seems like his interruption prevented them from completely taking the tail beast away. Naruto looked until he saw a cliff in the distance. He held Gaara closer to him so the force did not break his neck. As Naruto appeared at the cliff in blinding speed, raising his fist, Naruto dropped it and created a cave in. He then slowly placed Gaara inside after securing the area. You just stay right here while I handle them, said Naruto. Naruto then leaped. Boom! He crash landed right on the scene. Before we fight, said Deidara, I want to ask you something. Are you even human? He asks. The Akatsuki members had no time to get away. That all happened in a span of a few seconds. Human? Of course I am. So you're using some kind of special kinjutsu or something, right? Nope. Just all me, said Naruto. I trained pretty hard. You know, there's no need to lie when you're about to die, said Deidara. Die? Lie? Seems you're mistaken, said Naruto. I'm gonna be the one that will be ending the both of you right here and now. You two are the scum of the earth. After all that Gaara has achieved, you want to kill him. For that, I won't let either of you live. Suddenly, Naruto was blasted with senbons from the back. As Naruto turned, the senbons slamming into his face. Hundreds, thousands. Yet Naruto simply stood there. Was that supposed to do something? He asks. He flashed as he appeared in front of Sasori. Sasori's tail shot towards Naruto's face, as Naruto caught it with 2 fingers inches away. However, Sasori smirked at that. Immediately poison blasted right into Naruto's face. Sasori had some of the most deadliest poison known to man. Poison that could kill and rot away people within seconds. Sometimes though he injected people like Kankuro, just to see them suffer as it takes a longer time to kill them after all. However, for when you wanted someone dead, seconds was the time frame as Naruto staggered back. Poison was kind of a weakness for Naruto. The problem was, his body could cleanse any poison within 10 seconds, that was the thing. He needed 10 seconds, but in those 10 seconds Naruto's mind kind of blanked out. It wasn't really a weakness, but, well, after all, they couldn't really harm him with the R. But the problem was, if Naruto was normal and his mind blanked out, he would have been okay, but he wasn't the only one living inside of his head. And I'm not talking about Kurama. Kurama blinked as Naruto appeared inside the cell. However, he was unconscious. Kurama raised his 9 tails up in the air. He waited until the first second passed before he started to slowly lower them. 9, he said to himself, before he glanced towards the left as he saw the entity rush out of darkness. It then vanished. 8, Kurama said, before he turned his gaze towards upwards, trying to see what was going on outside. However, while that was happening, Naruto had a memory flash across his mind. Flashback to when Naruto was 8 years old, as he was in the forest of death facing off against a gigantic bear who didn't stand a chance. Once Naruto was done with said bear, he was making his way as he was about to leave. That was until he felt a strange sensation like he was being watched. He thought that he was an animal out there. Naruto has been training for 2 years now, getting stronger, as he still believed at this point that people were stronger than, well, him at the point, even though he was already ridiculously strong for his age. Naruto could swear that he felt someone watching him, but the presence felt different. He didn't know what it was. Following that, he made his way, as he went deeper into the forest of death, until he arrived at a strange location. There was a unsettling light. Given that it was late in the evening, the light seemed to come from a different source, which he was not sure about. As Naruto saw something on the ground, something had called him over here. Not in physical words, but in a mental way. He didn't know why, but he just had this feeling to come. As Naruto saw something on the ground, confused what it was, he picked it up. However, the moment he did, Naruto spasmed a bit, as he then fell over unconscious. Something rushed up his arm. Whatever it was, it just vanished. Whatever it is, it rushed up into his arm, and it was gone. Naruto's eyes snapped open as he looked around, wondering if all of that was some sort of dream. End the flashback, back to reality. As the 10 seconds began outside, Sasori looked towards Deidara. That was one of my most deadliest poisons, yet somehow he's still standing. However, this is our opportunity. Bind him now. I will keep on supplying a dose of my poison to keep him unconscious until we arrive. As Deidara stepped forward, creating an insect that wrapped around Naruto, until Naruto spoke. You filthy creatures, he said. His voice sounded a bit more rough. Flexing his arm, this thing just popped off him like it was nothing. Sasori, I thought you said Deidara was cut off as Naruto appeared in front of him, grabbing him by the face. I only have a few seconds. I'm not gonna waste it. Once again I can feel the power this body holds. Deidara was confused as Naruto kept on squeezing before. He quickly allowed a spider to jump from the palm of his hand, right on Naruto's face as he jumped back. Cut! Boom! The thing blew up. Yet Naruto stepped out of the smoke smiling. He stepped forward before he blinked out of reality. He appeared behind Deidara. Too weak, he said. Beyond pathetic. He slapped him in the back. Deidara's face slammed into the earth with such force, his nose shattered, his jaw broke. As Naruto lifted him up with one hand, moving at speeds that normal human could not keep up with, Naruto turned and launched him. The amount of force that Naruto threw him with caused his body to be shoot up in the sky. Naruto pressed his leg on the ground before shooting off. In a second he was behind Deidara as he stopped him with one hand. He then pushed him downwards. The force caused Deidara to scream as his entire body combusts. Flames started to eat away and eat at his skin, until there was nothing left. When he fell, all that remained was bones. Sasori was using the opportunity to get the hell out of there, until crash! Naruto stomped into the back of Sasori. However, he ejected out of his puppet at the last moment. Sasori jumped away as he pulled off his cloak that had came with him. Moving backwards, the redhead tried to get away from this unstoppable monster that was in front of him. As Naruto smirked and rushed forward and reached out, however, he stopped, seconds away from Sasori. The ninja jumped back and quickly held his arm out as two cannons appeared right in his palm before he released hot searing flames in Naruto's face. Naruto blinked twice as he woke up in flames. It was a good thing that Jiraiya had custom made the suit for him. The suit feed off his chakra and empower it, keeping it from being disintegrated and destroyed so quickly. The seals inside were a wonderful thing, given the fact that Naruto always walked into things like this. He had been unconscious for the last 10 seconds, yet as he looked around there was more damage than he thought. As Naruto realized what happened, he took a breath before he blew. However, his ear caused the fire that Sasori was releasing to combust together and create a gigantic explosion, incinerating trees. Sasori was able to shield himself though. Hey, said Naruto, stopping the puppeteer. Sasori was not in the mood to talk, but Naruto was. What just happened? What are you? Bipolar, Sasori said, as he looked towards the blonde. You hit me with that poison of yours, and it took me out of commission, and then I'm now here. You mean that wasn't you, Sasori said, as he now understand the change. Wait, it wasn't me? It happened again, damn it, said Naruto. As Naruto wondered, what did I say to you? Well, not me. What are you talking about, Sasori said. Are you trying to play me for some kind of fool? Naruto clenched his fists. You stand no chance against me, so you might as well tell me what I want to know. What just happened? And why should I tell you anything, said Sasori. Alright, if you tell me, I'll let you go. Let me go. You think I need your pity, Sasori said. Naruto appeared in front of him and grabbed both of his arms before he snapped them, literally tearing them off in the process. As Naruto then slammed Sasori face first into the ground. As I said, you stand no chance against me. So tell me, what just happened, said Naruto. Fine, said Sasori. he can use this time as distraction, as slowly. He used chakra threads to start to unseal his puppet. You start speaking strangely, like you have something against the human race entirely. The way you speak, arrogance in your tone. You then proceed to annihilate Gaara without a second thinking. I'm not sure what happened, but I doubt he's alive after. You knocked him all the way up there. All the way up there? You punch him straight up in the sky, then you vanish. You aren't human. You're some kind of monster, are you? Said Sasori. I don't know, said Naruto. Suddenly, the third Kezakage appeared behind Naruto, by the chakra threads that was coming from Sasori's sleeve. Well, the compartment that was ripped out. It quickly swung its blade towards Naruto's neck. The blade shattered upon impact. Naruto looked at him before he turned. The third Kezakage opened his mouth as iron sand shot from it and blanket Naruto. It wrapped around him as Sasori got back up. Chakra threads pulled his arm back to him. Even though they were not in the best of shape, he held his arm out. And now he said, as he allowed the third Kezakage to keep Naruto in hold, squeezed onto him tightly. However, Naruto did not seem to care what he was doing. That memory. Hey, Kurama, he said. What? When I was around 8 years old, I went into the forest of death and I found something. It was a strange piece of object. I'm not sure what it was, but there was this sensation like it was calling out to me. And when I touched it, it vanished. I always thought that that was a dream, that I had passed out from training too much. But now that I think about it, I think that it's real. Why are you telling me this? Said Kurama. Well, it just kind of popped up in my head recently. It just popped up in your head? Yeah, said Naruto. I'm not sure why though, it just... One moment it was there. You mean a forgotten memory? Exactly, said Naruto. That thing. It came out once again, didn't it? Yes. And it's getting stronger. But it was only... How much seconds? Said Naruto. 10, said Kurama. But that isn't longer than before, is it? Yes, the time has not changed, but I can feel it growing in power. Damn it, said Naruto. What if I somehow black out when I'm around friends? If I sleep, will this thing try to come out? Well, we haven't had any incident like that so far, so I doubt it, said Kurama. But you're gonna have to find out sooner or later what this thing is. I can feel it right now, storing itself away in your mindscape. Reaching into a depth that even I can't enter. Not even you, which is strange considering that it's your mind. As Naruto frowned at that. Hey! Naruto blinked. Are you listening to me? Naruto glanced towards Sasori. Did you say something? Naruto then looked up as he saw at least 100 puppets over him. What are those? He asked. Are those all puppets? I've used this to take over a nation. And I'll use them to crush you if you don't give up, Sasori said. As Naruto looked down and flexed his arm, as he burst out of the iron sand. Naruto then jumped forward as the puppet came down with a right hook. Naruto caught its wrist before snapping its head off. The rest of them flew down towards Naruto as he clenched his fists. He then brought his fist upwards and generated a current that whipped through the sky. Seconds. Sasori watched his body's part fell. All of his 100 puppets collapsed in broken mess. Naruto then pushed his hand right through the head of the third Kezakage puppet before prying it open, ripping it apart completely. He then turned his gaze towards Sasori. The puppet master collapsed on his knees. Shock, disbelief all over his face. What are you? He said. I am Naruto Uzumaki, and you took Gaara, one of my friends. And for that, I won't forgive you, said Naruto. He raised his fists. Sasori was a broken puppet at the moment, not understanding how years of hard work, collections, everything that he's gathered, could be wiped away like that without even any efforts. Wait, he said. As Naruto stopped. You want mercy now? No. There's no reason left for me to live, said Sasori as he was assigned to his fate. All of his hard work was just gone down the drain. But there's something I want to tell you. Orochimaru. He's alive. Yeah, I already know that, said Naruto. But I just don't know where he is. Do you? Yes. I have one of my puppets in his forces. He's a mate at the Tenchu Bridge with me in 10 days. There you can find him and end him. Why are you telling me this? I always hated that sneak bastard. I would enjoy you ripping him apart as well. Grant me that final wish even in death. Fine, said Naruto. I do have a bone to pick with him, so you get your wish one way or another. Sasori nodded as he closed his eyes, as Naruto brought his fist down, cleansing the world of Sasori completely. His heart canister, everything was just blown to literal pieces. Naruto was generating so much power and shockwave that it was hard to keep the ground stable as the place rocked apart, the ground being trembled and torn open. Naruto looked around at all the mess. As he started to run in a circle, he ran so fast that he generated a large tornado, as everything was sucked up inside. Naruto then spun his arms in a counterclockwise motion, causing the thing to be channeled and controlled by him before he spun them upwards. He then started turning his head in the other direction as the force crushed everything into dust. Once that was done, dust rained down towards him. He spat as a few got into his mouth. Naruto was deeply concerned by being controlled. He didn't like it one bit, as he didn't know when this thing would come out, but he slept regularly. Kagura was in the house, she would have noticed something. Naruto shook his head as he decided to go and get Gaara. As he was walking though, he looked up. BAM! A gigantic fist smashed in Naruto's face, launched him through 100 trees. Naruto finally stopped in a clearing far, far away, his body resting on the ground. Something jumped and landed right in front of him. Naruto picked himself up. And what are you? He said, tilting his head. In front of him was a beast. The thing was gigantic, at least twice his size. Given that Naruto was pretty tall, yes, it was massive. It had a lot of strange bone reaching out of its arms and back, two on its fists that came out as a weapon, more jutting from his back like some kind of cryptic monster. Its face was angled like a human, however it had sharp, pointed teeth that could rip through a tree trunk. Gigantic toenails as its feet was bare. It was wearing some strange material as a pants that was torn at the ankle, no shirt, black marking like Fuinjutsu over the chest. There was a strange orb in the center of the thing's chest, like some kind of funnel for chakra. The thing's eyes were red and glowing ominously. And what are you? Said Naruto. Made to destroy you, it said. It seemed to struggle to even talk. You were made to destroy me. By who? Master wants me kill. It seemed that he couldn't talk properly. Do anything for Master. Die! The thing rushed forward and jumped. It brought its fist down and slammed on top of Naruto. A distance away. It seems some of its motor functions are returning, my lord, said Kabuto. Yes, said Orochimaru. There was a scroll on the ground, as they could see through the eyes of the beast. The same markings over the chest was on the said scroll, showing a projection of chakra. Yes, it was made exactly out of chakra, as they were seeing the whole thing. Now to see how he stacks up. Orochimaru says he watched the scene with a gleeful smile. Each of his experiments were getting a lot better. Down below, Naruto caught the thing's fists. The ground beneath him exploded. However, to his surprise, the thing emerged a tail from its back. The bone was literally a tail, but it was flexible. Flexible bone. It slammed right into Naruto's stomach, before wrapping around him and slammed him back in front. The thing then reached and grabbed Naruto's head as it tried to squash it, squeezing with tremendous force. When it realized that was not gonna happen, it raised Naruto up in the mid-air, before it jumped and kicked him up in the sky. It then lifted its arm and fired off the bones, They projected from its hand as blood came out, to show that it was not perfect. The bones slammed into Naruto, but new ones came. As Naruto was falling, it moved forward and drive the bones right into his chest, blasting him through several more trees. The thing moved forward and picked up two gigantic trees, literally tearing them out of the earth, which it used to slam down on Naruto like spears. The thing stood there triumphantly, as it walked over towards Naruto's unmoving body. You know, the thing looked down towards him, I have to say. You're a lot stronger than the other one. I'm impressed. Whoever is sending you guys is giving me a good workout, said Naruto. Well, not that good, but still. At least I have something stronger to fight, to get my mind off things. I'm actually kind of grateful, whoever you are, said Naruto. Thanks for the test. So you were made to fight me, huh, big guy? Well, let's see how much of me you can keep up with. Upon saying that, Naruto moved forward. The thing swung its fist, however, Naruto grabbed it and lifted him over his shoulder, and brought his body down. When Naruto dropped it in a clearing, a violent explosion of dust, debris, and all sorts of things were sent flying. As the place was left in a wide open area, Naruto then jumped before he slammed both of his legs into the thing's chest. Cracking sounds could be heard as Naruto applied more pressure. He then bounced straight up in the sky before he came down. He drove his fist, however, the thing released at least 100 bones that stabbed upright into Naruto. The bones were not able to pierce his skin as they started to crack under the weight, as Naruto ended up breaking right through them before he slammed his head right into the monsters. The monster body was knocked straight on the ground. Naruto dived right through the hole as he kept on pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. The thing tried to hold on to his arms, but Naruto stomped right in his chest once more before he dived around it, digging through the earth himself as Naruto pulled his fist back. He then punched it. Another hole was blasted out of the ground. The thing was sent skyrocketing as Naruto bent his knees. He jumped and punched it once again, this time over towards Orochimaru. This is impossible, right? All they saw was Naruto teleporting and punching the thing all over. The body was unable to keep up. By the time Naruto was done, Naruto appeared above the thing, both arms raised as he dropped it into the thing's skull. The thing's skull shattered upon contact. Despite Naruto holding back its body, was just not able to keep up. The bones were seated as the thing crashed face first. Naruto landed right on top of the corpse. I had fun, said Naruto. Whoever you are, he said, I hope you get a stronger one to fight me in the future. As Naruto walked off, hands in his pockets, making his way to where he placed Gaara. Moments later, Orochimaru appeared on the scene, Kabuto by his side as he flipped the monster over. Another failure, my lord. However, Orochimaru was grinning from ear to ear. He seemed rather happy about this new development. I'm surprised by your reaction. Kabuto, you have to understand that sometimes failure is always an option, but throughout failure there will be growth. Time and time again, this person has shown himself to be exponentially powerful than any one of us could even think about. But the more he fights, the more I start to understand his strength. The more I can see that there is a limit to him. And I will find it, Kabuto. The more I fail, the more I grow. And soon enough, I'll be able to create a monster so powerful that he will be quaking in his boots. I'll be able to create an army of them to take over the entire elemental nation with just a wave of my hand. Orochimaru said, a look of absolute glee on his face. As Kabuto was now starting to understand why his master was laughing, it brought a sick, twisted smile to his face as well. As Kabuto glanced around as he could not see the bodies of neither of the Akatsuki members. Did they got away, he wondered to himself. The two of them had to keep their distance away from the Akatsuki and also Naruto as well, so they would not be discovered, so they did not really watch the fight and saw what happened. And that was one of their big mistakes because Kabuto still believed that Sasori was alive. And with Orochimaru taking over Sasuke's body and becoming what he always wanted to be, the Akatsuki threat was getting lesser and less. Time skip. Sakura and Kakashi and Lady Chiro was making their way as they came to see Pac Pakon gave them a rundown on where the location was, as a day summoned, telling them that Naruto went ahead. So they were moving as fast as they could to reach the location until they heard talking. Arriving, they saw Naruto carrying an unconscious Gaara as he was speaking to him despite Gaara being unconscious. Naruto said Sakura she landed. Oh hey Sakura, said Naruto. Is it over? Kakashi asked. Yeah, I took care of them, said Naruto. By yourself, said Shio as she looked towards him. Yep, said Naruto. Gaara is, from what I can see, okay. However, they were trying to steal a tail beast, so I'm guessing that I ruined their extraction. Let me see him, said Sakura, as Naruto placed Gaara on the ground. So the rumors were true then, said Shio to herself, looking towards this individual that stood here. To know that someone in her lifetime possessed power like this, it was truly a staggering thought. The Sand had failed on getting Temari to marry Naruto. They wanted that, but, well, Naruto was already with Kurosaki and everyone knew that. So there was a chance that the Hidden Stone could get immensely powerful babies if the two of them were to hook up in that way. They did not know if it was in his genes, if his power came from that, because no one in the entire Elemental Nation believed him when he said that he trained for his own power. It just seemed beyond ridiculous. Such strength and such power did not just come from training alone. It was impossible. There was a few that believed him though. One of the main ones being Mike Guy. After all, that was their whole thing, Lee as well. But because of Naruto's peculiar situation, he was the only one that could survive training like this. Others' body would eventually give up and die. So yeah, Naruto was special in a sense. As they headed back towards the village with the Akatsuki, there is no sign of them, my lord. No body parts, nothing remaining. They're just all gone. The spy of the Akatsuki Zetsu reported back in. Pain was not happy. It was just a portion of the 9 tails that was recovered. Yes, a portion. Granted, they didn't have to steal all powers of the tail beasts. But still, this was a bad start. He wanted to get more of this, but yet, he failed to do so, and now, this child was on the move, and was able to wipe out 2 of his main sources. The big problem was, Sasori had his spine at work and Deidara had the terms of flight. Damn it. As he was not happy about this in the slightest. What shall we do? We end this. As Zetsu looked towards the leader, strangely. I'm going to call a meeting in a few minutes. Return by then. Zetsu simply nodded. Time skip. So, what will our next move be? You can clearly see that the problem I summed up some time ago is now rising to become a greater threat than we believed. Yes, I'm working on it. And what exactly are you doing? The masked man said as he looked towards the leader of the Akatsuki. I said I'm working on it. We will be annihilating Naruto Uzumaki. Ah, a full-on assault. Coming together to destroy him. I see no other way. This child will be a hindrance for a future plan. That is why he must be captured now, before we go after any of the tail beasts. I will be calling the remaining Akatsuki right now. You should listen on this meeting. There's a chance we might need your peculiar skills out there. Well, as long as it's for the organization, I'm always happy to oblige, the masked man said. Time skip. Once again they were all gathered, seeing the little mishap. So, they're both dead, huh? Tuh. Always the big talkers getting killed first, said Hidan. Tuh. I'm surprised you're saying that, said Kakazu. What's that supposed to mean? Enough. The reason why you're here is we're stopping the progress of going after the tail beasts for now. What? We're stopping because of that brat, Hidan said. Why don't you just send us there? I'll chop him to pieces. Listen before you speak, Hidan. I'm not finished yet. As I was saying, we'll be going after him. The 9 tails will be collecting first, taking him out of commission. If we do not right now, there will be many more problems in the future that this one child will interrupt. Just like with the extraction of the 1 tails. and I will not stand for something like that once again. So, we're going after that brat once again, said Kisame as he was happy to do so. The last time they fought, it wasn't pretty on Kisame's side or Samehata's. Unlike the normal Jinchurikis, this one is special, so you don't have to pull your punches as much. As long as he's unconscious and in my care, nothing else shall be done. As the members that remain looked towards him, they all nodded. For now, all you have to do is wait. I will summon you all when time is right, he said, as he dismissed them afterwards. Once they were gone, Toby stepped out in the lights. So how exactly are you going to get him one-on-one? I mean, that is what you want, right? After all, he's already powerful enough. Having others there, messing with the plan would be truly problematic. Besides, what about you yourself? It doesn't seem like you'll be joining in. No, I won't. You will be there watching over their progress in this. Zetsu can report back to me quicker than usual. It seems like you might have to reveal yourself to the rest of the Akatsuki if things don't work out as I believe. So you're taking a bet here. I'm surprised. Where's all that bravado about being a god? Do not mistake my word for weakness. The Akatsuki is the only thing that matters right now, and I will not allow even my pride to jeopardize that. I will bring peace to this world no matter what. Whoa, no need to go and blow up on me, said Toby. I just merely wanted more information, and you have them. I will call you when I'm ready. Dismissing me like the others. You seem to have forgotten who's actually running things here. And you seem to have forgotten who I am, said Pain. As Toby released a dark chuckle. No, I have not, he said. With that, he slowly sucked himself away in a swirling vortex. Maybe he needs to die as well. A voice spoke up. No, not yet. For now he's useful. His ability will help a lot in this endeavor. But if he keeps on testing my patience, then yes, you'll have to die as well, said Pain. As Konan was happy to hear that. She never liked the masked man. Never at all. Meanwhile, the body of Kimimaro, well, once Kimimaro was currently lying on the table. Orochimaru had examined and removed several vital organs out of the beast that remained, and also fluid that he needed. Orochimaru turned his back as in front of him was several tubes. Inside of those tubes were kids. Some of them were no older than 8-9 years old, as the age progress was from 8 to 19. However, these were no normal humans. These were synthetic beings that Orochimaru created, with a special DNA of the monsters that he was creating, and a bit of his own as well. Orochimaru was revolutionizing, as he was bringing great changes. With the Sharingan, Orochimaru felt like everything about him was just reinventing himself and becoming better and better, and there was nothing stopping him. I needed the army to make sure that he can quash and control anything that he pleases. These children of his will be his prime specimen, the ones that will help him take everything and control the world. And nothing and no one will stop him, as he laughed psychotically to himself. A big, placid smirk as his tongue extended and licked its lips. Meanwhile that was going on, 3 people arrive in the deep recesses of space, not too far away from the elemental nation. The 3 of them gave a nod as they spread out. These were Atsukis, but they were no normal Atsukis. As one of them arrived, glancing down towards the moon that was right beside Earth, his eyes seemed to scan the moon before he picked up on something. Floating down, he came to a stop. On said moon, someone slowly approached. As they were coming from the inside, the person had a surprised look on his face, as he never expected this in the slightest. The person was also, well, quarter Otsutsuki. He was from the lineage of Hamura. Yes, Tonori Otsutsuki. As he knew about the race He's never seen them before. However, now, as he looked up into those cold, unforgiving eyes, the eyes then turned towards the elemental nation. He then watched as the thing blasted off. Tsunori was given a job to do. If mankind proved to be too unstable, it will be his job to cleanse it. However, that was years from now. But it seems like their time has just run out. It seems like they had bigger problem than he thought. He had not monitored the earth for some time now. His predecessors before him had kept everything and watched everything and kept a monologue. However, to know that the Akatsuki were here, something that he never expected, it seems. Like he will have to pay the earth a visit. He might be their only chance that they have of surviving now. Meanwhile that was going on, Toby, the masked man who had spoken to the Akatsuki leader, well, Pain, had a different plan on mind. Toby has been watching things rather perfectly. Certain information that Pain should know he did not, because Toby made sure that Pain did not know of them because, well, he did not fully trust him to that extent, as he was the one in charge here. However, Toby had a different plan. Toby had someone that he knew would cause Naruto to change. Yes, he had Zetsu keeping an eye on her. Well, a few of the white Zetsu spawns. He knew exactly who she was. Her name was Kurosaki, Tsuchikage's granddaughter, the love of Naruto's life, and his weakness. His prime known weakness, the only one that they know of. And he will use her. Yes, he will. He will use her to get what he wants. However, he was not the only one. Orochimaru just got information from one of his subordinates. A few years back, Orochimaru saw the interaction between the two when they had fought. Since then, Orochimaru had people monitoring the stone. The recent meeting between Naruto and Kurosaki, and not to mention their mission, was monitored by some of Orochimaru's lackeys. All he needed right now was information on where she would be and when. Orochimaru was going to send out one of his newest, well, subordinates, or children. That is what he was calling them, his children, to retrieve her and bring her to him. Maybe that girl was the only thing in the world that was his weakness, and Orochimaru was definitely going to capitalize on that. Yes, he was going to capitalize well. But guys, be subscribed right here for the next part and do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm going to be out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.